done.
Yeah. Okay, so today I'm going to be teaching you guys a little bit about culture in the classroom. So we're going to talk about why it's important to understand the student's culture and what you can do to have a more culturally responsive classroom. So first, I'm going to define culture. I'm going to talk about the influence of culture on students' learning in the classroom. And then I'm going to talk about cultural discontinuities, what those are and why it's important for teachers to understand. Some culture-specific accommodations, and what you guys can do as teachers in the classroom, and we're going to focus more on culturally responsive classroom management. So first, I wanted you guys to talk about what do you think of when you think of culture? How would you define that?
With each other.
Yeah, you can talk with each other and then we'll.
Okay.
So would you like to begin?
I always take a long time to come up with these ideas. Anything?
I think culture, it's not one specific thing, it's a combination of things. For me, culture encompasses your ethnicity, your family values, your family background, where you grew up.
But it's not limited to any of those things, too.
No, it's kind of a
Right.
combination of it. And I
Right.
think my definition of culture and how it defines me kind of changes over time as well.
Okay.
It was different when I was younger than when I'm an adult.
Good. So yeah, you guys got it right on the nose. So does someone want to read this quote that describes culture?
I'll do it. Culture consists of the values, traditions, worldview, and social and political relationships created, shared, and transformed by a group of people bound together by a common history, geographic location, language, social class, religion, or other shared identity.
Right. So you guys, right? It's not just about food and traditions and the holidays that people have, but it's affected by a lot of different things, and it encompasses their communication style, attitudes, values, and family relationships. So we're going to do a little activity just to get started thinking about identity and what makes up your identity. So you have 7 cards in front of you on the table, and on each of the 7 index cards, I want you to write up one thing that makes up your identity. So some ideas is you can talk about your race, your religion, occupation, your family, like if you're a sister, mother, traits, activities, health, and socioeconomic standing. So think of the 7 things that you think of when you think of your identity. What I have you do is you are going to look through your 7 cards, and you are going to rip up one of the cards that you feel least identifies you. And then go ahead and rip up the next card out of the rest, the ones you have left, that least identifies you.
How many more?
One more.
One more.
But we're going to keep going until you're down to 1.
Oh,
So, yeah.
no! I know.
Okay, now I'm going to have you share how did this feel to do this activity?
Horrible.
Yeah. So what was so hard about it?
Choosing between the parts of your life that are equally important to make up who you are. Am I more a mother, more a wife, or more an educator?
Mm-hmm.
Like, those are the 3 things that really encompass who I am. I can deal without, like, my racial background identity. It's so many things I don't connect with any of them really, or you know, certain other things you know, kind of make up a smaller portion of who you are, but those are major portions of life.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me right now, like I feel very connected to my racial identity. So it's like, especially what's going on with Puerto Rico, I feel very connected to that right now. So I had a hard time ripping that up.
Mm-hmm.
But I also wish I put wife because I feel bad that I didn't. So that would have been my number 1, but
Yeah, so the reason I did this activity was to show how many parts come together to make your identity, and it's hard to just boil it down to just one, and that's something we need to remember as teachers with our students. It's important to get to know the whole student and not just identify as them as their racial background, but there's a lot of different parts that come together to make their identity. And it's important to get to know your students so that you understand